Most people go through life reacting and not really understanding why. I'm going to go over some basic psychology facts that can actually really change your life. It can help you out in your day to day and in your relationships. Welcome to my audio diary where I talk about my thoughts. Join me, Catherine, as I navigate thoughts about life and relationships, dating and God, mental health struggles and motherhood, and all things feminine energy. I firmly believe that those of us that are on this self help journey are just desperate for wisdom, guidance, direction, just any answers. So I'm happy to share any wisdom that I find along the way, but I'm just more happy that you're here and that we're doing this together. So let's get started. Let's just talk about the main concept of perception in general. So, perception is this concept where I can see things one way and somebody else can see things a completely different way. We might perceive the same exact situation differently based on our previous experiences. Let me try and give you an example. Say the first time I stepped on ice, I slid and it was fun and it was graceful and I laughed. Say the person next to me, the first time they stepped on ice, it cracked, they fell through the ice, it was traumatic. Someone, heaven forbid, got hurt or injured severely. Okay. Now, this next instance, her and I, this person and I, we walk up to some ice and we perceive this very differently. I might perceive this as a fun event or something we can do, and this other person will perceive the same exact situation as a threat or a danger. So this applies with hurt feelings. This applies with disagreements in your life with your loved ones. Your person, your partner, might have a different perception than you based on what they've been through in their life. Because of what they've been through, they might be more sensitive to yelling or cheating or whatever it is, whatever trauma, it develops some insecurity. Okay. It changes our perception and the way that we see things. Let's go on to the next. Awareness is everything. I think it's really important to become self aware because you can't change what you don't notice about yourself. Let's talk about people pleasing as an example. If you're walking around pleasing people because you have this belief that you aren't worth loving unless you're combing over the environment and making it comfortable for everybody else. If that's the case and you're doing this subconsciously, you're not aware, you can't change that. Well, if you become aware, like, why am I doing this? Why is this happening? You might be able to start changing your behaviors. So let's go on to the third thing I want to talk about, which is in general our thoughts, our feelings, and our behaviors being separate things. Sometimes we have a strong feeling, a strong emotion, which then we act on immediately without thinking. And that gets blended as one thing. Actually, let's take it further. The person that caused you to feel that emotion, they didn't cause it. The person on the other end of the emotion that you're feeling, they had a behavior. This is all a lot of separate things happening. They had a behavior. You had a response to that behavior. You then responded to your own emotion, your own emotional response with your own behavior. But that has all become enmeshed into one thing when we say, you made me do that. No, break it down. They did this. That pissed me off. That made me mad. And then I chose to slam the door. Whatever the situation is. A plus B, A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Okay, every single time. Separate it. I'm in control of my emotion. I can self regulate. And if I can't, I can grow. I can work towards it. You have to work on understanding that I don't have to act on every single thing I feel. I can sit by, I can have self control, I can decide to behave differently, right? We can build up those tools, come up with a plan, and then change our behaviors and how we respond. Because at the end of the day, we don't want to give other people that much control over us. They made me what? They made you punch a hole in the wall? They made you have road rage and run off the road? Wow. They have a lot of power over you. All right, take back your control. Next, your brain looks for patterns. We have part of the way in which our brain develops is neural pathways. There's too much going on in the world for us to be clocking it all the time. Once we've learned something, like nip it, we're done, put it in that memory bank. Once we see a pattern in things, oh my gosh, it's amazing the way kids look for patterns. One thing, they're like, is this the pattern? Is this the precedent for change? They're so funny. Okay, but we do it too. And I even remember doing it as a kid. You're looking for the pattern. That pattern creates a neural pathway. Let's bring it back to emotion and behavior response. I feel this, I respond that way. I feel this, I respond that way. I feel anxious, I respond by reaching out again, checking the social media, blah, 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 whatever it is. Okay, so breaking it down. You're trying to understand that these patterns create neural pathways, which are going to be similar to like tracks in the snow or tracks in the dirt, right? Like the first time, it's just going to be a little bit of an impression in that dirt or that snow path. But after you drag that wagon, sled, XYZ, I don't care, drag it, it's going to create a trench. Imagine doing it for 60 years. Why do you think old people are they're like so ingrained in who they are and their personality? Okay, it's these neural pathways. This. I feel this, I respond this way, here we go. And nobody thinks to stop it and just step back. What am I thinking? What am I feeling? Self-awareness, which self-awareness is just the concept of noticing your thoughts, noticing your reactions, noticing your emotions, noticing your behaviors, all of those things. Let's talk about social awareness. Okay, so we have self-awareness. We're working on that. Social awareness is that not everything is about you. Dare I say it? I know I had to be told myself a couple times. It's not all about you. People aren't thinking about you as much as they're thinking about themselves, and their behavior is a reflection of them and not you. Just straight up. That guy that doesn't want to be with you, he might have issues like that with commitment. It might not have any single thing to do with you, but you want to make it about yourself and change who you are or decide that you're not worthy when, I don't know, this guy's just not ready to be married or whatever it is. This guy doesn't want to be married and is a playboy. That's not because you're not wife material. You are wife material. You need to walk up in there like, I'm a wife. And if this man is not recognized, you're not his wife, you're somebody's wife. And he better recognize that. And if he doesn't recognize that, why does he have time to, or access? Why does he have any access towards you, at you, whatever? Okay, that's where it's like, you don't have to make it about you. That's about them. If somebody takes a dig at you, you could be reflecting back to them something that they're insecure about. Nothing to do with you. We're mirrors to other people. We're mirrors to their insecurity. It is the exact difference between you're an intimidating person. Hear the difference between that and I'm intimidated by you. I'm intimidated by you or you're an intimidating person. They're two different things. Okay. Control. What do we have control of? What do we have control of in the situation? I'm going to give you a hint. It's not other people. It's not how they act. It's not the choices that they make for their life or for you or your relationship. It's not them. It's not how they think. It's not how they feel. Your control is you. If somebody isn't treating you right, you are not going to go grab them and put them in a headlock, knuckle sandwich them, and tell them to act right. No. You hang out with people that treat you right. If you want your man to act right, you go find a man that acts right. You don't go grab some bum, some fool, some womanizer and start yelling at them to act right. Be different. Stop doing that. No, you go and find a man that acts right. Okay, that's what we control. So, last but not least, the pause. The pause between reacting. This is all so much. Oh my gosh, honestly, it really is. Self-awareness is a lot. Trying to understand, why am I acting this way? Listen, it is a lot. If you can start at one place, it's the pause. I'm feeling something strong. Pick one thing. What's one thing you want to work on? It could be how you react in anger. Maybe it's how you react when you are jealous. Maybe it's how you react when you're anxious and secure. Pick something. Pick something and come up with the pause. Plan to practice the pause. I know that when I get anxious and insecure, I have this anxious, insecure feeling. I respond with this behavior, checking the socials, texting, calling, I don't know. I'm going to pause. I'm going to practice the pause and take to your journal about it. What am I feeling? Why? Where did this feeling originate in my life? Literally, like, were you too? When did it originate? Because it matters. The pause, it's anger. Okay, what do you do out of anger? You hang up the phone, you walk away. Maybe yours is like storming out and you want to stop doing that. Practice the pause. Even if you're like, okay, I paused for 10 seconds and then stormed out. Next week, it could be 1 minute before you storm out. And then the week after that, it could be 3 minutes. Okay. And then like in 6 months from now, maybe you're like able to pause for like 5 minutes, like you're growing a tolerance for your emotions. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Thank you for joining me on another episode of my audio diary where I just talk about kind of what I'm thinking about. And these are some simple Psych 101 concepts that really changed my life. Comment and let me know if any of this resonates with you or how you plan to use this in your life. Please let me know. I'm dying to hear from you. Have a good day.